Just amazing. Please welcome U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome America's doctor, Dr. Vivek Murthy. He's here with his parents, Dr. Halagare and Maitre Murthy, sister Dr. Rashmi Murthy, and fiancée Dr. Alice Chen. Congratulations. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sri. And thank you so much to all of you, to India Abroad. This is such a humbling moment for me. Like many of the people who spoke before here, I have memories of India Abroad being delivered to our home when I was very young. And I remember how the logo changed over the years. I remember the different stories that we would read through about Indian Americans here and about Indians back at home. And those papers provided an extraordinary connection for us. For those of us who couldn't travel often to India, it gave us a picture that was brought to life by the beautiful stories that were told, and created an invaluable connection to an identity that I think we celebrate today in such splendor. And so I want to thank India Abroad for not just tonight, but for the connection that you have created for so many of us to India and to our Indian heritage. Hearing some of the stories of the recipients today has just inspired me. I feel so humbled to be included in the list of the winners tonight. And hearing in particular how our youngest winners, who are still in their teen years, hearing them speak and hearing the confidence with which they speak, hearing the large visions and hopes and dreams that they have, it's just simply extraordinary to witness that. And so I consider myself very lucky to have been here. In hearing these stories, though, as many of our winners have said, none of these journeys are solo journeys, but we all get help from people along the way, help that helps us figure out what to do, what not to do, that guides us when we're lost, that picks us up when we fall down. And my story has really been no different. All along the way from the very beginning of my life, I've had great people who have helped me and who have guided me and who have lifted me up. When I was born, I wasn't breathing. And I actually didn't realize this until many years later, when I was significantly older, when my father and mother told me this story of my birth and how it was a very worrisome time because I unexpectedly came out blue. And it was my father who stepped in and who pushed the team to resuscitate me and made sure that I was breathing. He's the reason that I am here today. But then even in years afterward, I would have many people who would step in and who would help me out. I remember in elementary school, when I was in 6th grade, I wanted to be a safety patrol. But I wasn't asked to be a safety patrol. I was a quiet, shy kid who didn't really say a whole lot in school. And it was my mother who, in fact, taught me at that early age to speak up for myself and to express my hopes and my wishes and to ask for that which I thought I might want and to ask to serve in a position where I might think I would do a good job. And thanks to her support and her guidance, I became a safety patrol later. And that became one of the most fulfilling experiences of my time in elementary school. And then years later, when I was in high school, I would get really into math competitions. Now, let's be very clear. I was no Manjul Bhargava. Not even close. And I feel like privileged to have gone to college with Manjul. And I will tell all of you that his brilliance was so apparent even then. But despite not having his brilliance, I was still eager to go to competitions and to do well. Now, many times I didn't do as well as I'd hoped. And I would come home sullen and disappointed, angry. Sometimes I would take it out on my family. But whenever I would come home from those competitions, though I was often disappointed, my sister would often be waiting for me, ready to listen to me, to simply be there, support me, and pick me up. And years later, when I would finish my medical training, I didn't know what I wanted to do. People told me I should be a cardiologist because I had all the risk factors for being a cardiologist. And I would say, well, what are those? And they said, well, you're male, you're 6 feet tall, and you're Indian. That's the trifecta. But, that wasn't the right path for me, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I was blessed to have teachers and family that stood by me as I went through great periods of uncertainty in searching and experimenting and figuring out what I wanted to do. And then over the last year, as I went through the ups and downs of a tumultuous confirmation process, a year that was filled with extraordinary moments of inspiration and exhilaration, but that were also filled with moments of difficulty, uncertainty, and heartbreak. During those times, people came together to help me. My parents came together, my sisters supported me, my other sisters, Palak and Priyada and Dayananda, my brother Parag, but so many people who I didn't know as well, people who would become family, many of whom are actually in this room, and then people who I would never meet, but who were standing up all over the country to support. I think sometimes about the stories of the people that I haven't met. I think about how it was their support, as well as the support of the people who I did know, who not only made my nomination possible, but who made my confirmation, which seemed like an improbable event, something that came to fruition. So I look back on all of these, and I realize that none of us come to where we are on our own, but we come because we are blessed with support, with family, with friends, and with the kindness of strangers who step in to help us sometimes when we least expect it. And I stand here now as the Surgeon General, knowing that there's a great responsibility that I have to our community, to the country, and really to the world. And there are great challenges that we face, no doubt. As many of you know, our country faces extraordinary challenges, challenges that not only threaten the health of individuals, but threaten our economy, threaten our readiness and preparedness as a nation, and really threaten global health. But what I will tell you is that what gives me hope and strength that we can meet these challenges are so many of the people in this room, people who not only stood up to help me during my time of need, but who in your own lives have overcome extraordinary obstacles, who have done amazing things, and who continue to inspire me in what you do. So I want to tell you that in the next 3.5 years, as I serve my term as Surgeon General, as I think about the great challenges, but also about how we will overcome them, and as I apply myself to addressing the great challenges that we face, I will always remember where I came from. I will always remember my community, and I will always remember all of you. Thank you.
For the people who don't know, can you explain the uniform? Not everybody knows, and the title itself is not obvious to everybody.
Absolutely. So, for those of you who don't know, the uniform that I wear is the uniform of the United States Public Health Service. The Public Health Service is one of seven uniformed services in the United States government. It is not a uniformed service that carries traditional weapons, but the Public Health Service are soldiers for health. And they travel all over the world and in many locations across the United States, assisting during times of great need, most recently in the Ebola outbreak that took place in West Africa. The uniform that I wear, as I mentioned, is a Public Health Service uniform and follows the rank system that is present in the Navy. So the stripes that you see on the sleeve indicate rank, and the Surgeon General holds a position of Vice Admiral, which is a 3-star general rank. So I've received quite an education in uniform services over the last 6 months or so. I'm sure I will learn quite a lot more. But one thing that I really have gained, even so much more than what I had before, is a deep appreciation for the incredible service that our men and women in uniform across all 7 services commit to and perform every day. And I'm very grateful to have met them and grateful to have joined them.
Thank you.